The work package we chose was brickwork. Scaffolding is placed in order for the brickwork to continue on higher levels. The scaffold acts as a means of access to higher levels during the building's construction. By standing on the scaffold, a bricklayer is able to get a top view of the bricks and ensure that he is doing it accurately.
Firstly, in order to set out the bricklaying process, the bricklayer starts by measuring and planning out where the wall will be placed. By setting out a mason's line and by creating a reference guide, the bricklayer can simply follow the outlined area.
As you can see in this video, the bricklayers are setting out a mason's line. This is what they will use as a reference point when laying bricks. The setting out of brickwork involves utilising a mason's line to guide the bricklayer to place the bricks in the specific zones and places outlined in the architectural drawings accurately.
Materials handling involves the storage, facilitation and access of any materials and equipment needed for the specific bricklaying process. As we visited the site, we noticed that the bricklayers stored the bricks in pallets or groups scattered around each floor. They were placed in these specific areas as the walls that were to be placed here required different specific types of bricks in certain quantities. This makes it easier for access, thus improving productivity and efficiency on site.
As seen in the video, the use of the brick transporter is efficient in picking up multiple bricks at a time rather than just individually. We notice that this is very time effective as it enables the bricks to be laid and placed quicker. For the execution of brickwork, after planning and measuring, the bricklayers would start out by laying a mason's line and setting up a reference guide for laying the bricks. This process was repeated for each wall. Once the line was set up, the bricklayers would follow this guide and lay bricks accordingly as specified in the architectural drawings. This involved placing bricks and adding mortar on top. Specifically, the bricks used a mortar mix of 1:1:6, referring to cement, lime and sand as expressed in the architectural specifications report. As you can see in this video, the bricklayer uses a trowel to collect the mortar and lay a thick bed onto the bricks. He then places mortar on the sides and bottom of the bricks to ensure that the bricks stick and are in place securely. He then taps it using the trowel to make sure that the brick is sitting on the mortar properly and so it is stable.
By the bricks being close together and compact together, it allows the wall to be more durable and be able to adapt to weather conditions such as strong winds.
The bricklaying method was both the same for external and internal walls. However, the types of brick utilised differed. On the inside, the common bricks were placed as an internal wall, whereas for the external walls, they utilised face bricks, which were a graphite coloured clay brick with an off-white mortar mix. To finish up the brickwork, they would use a roller to clean up all the excess waste and mortar from the bricks. By doing this, you can see more of a distinction in the mortar, creating a more aesthetic look. A brick transporter allowed for high productivity and efficiency, as it saved time on moving and accessing the bricks. With the use of this tool specifically, the balcony wall in the video was able to be completed within a full day on site. Had this not been used, it is likely that it would have taken hours more to complete, since moving the bricks can be a tedious process.
Laying the bricks was also done efficiently due to the implementation of effective teamwork and cooperation. The bricklayers delegated each other roles, such as laying down the mortar, placing the bricks, cutting the bricks to a desired length to fit, and moving the mortar to the mortar plate. This enabled the wall to be completed quickly, thus high productivity was due to cooperation and teamwork.
Low productivity issues mainly related to the poor and untidy housekeeping that was on site.
Yeah.
This untidy housekeeping was due to the brick cut-offs that were left near the brick cutter. This is not only a potential hazard, but it can also slow down the work of bricklayers as it may get in the way of their job and because they need to clean it up afterwards.
For brickwork, a wheelbarrow is utilised to carry and manoeuvre the mortar mix in an efficient way. It allows the mortar to be transported and easily accessed by bricklayers when completing the specified task.
An electric brick saw is utilised to efficiently cut bricks to their desired length. On this project, the brick saw was placed next to the working station in order for it to be easily accessible by the bricklayers, thus speeding up the bricklaying process.
Another piece of plant equipment used was scaffolding. Scaffolding enables bricklayers to access higher levels of the project in the most efficient manner. This provides both safety and a means of access for project staff. On this project, scaffolding was existent on all levels and the entry points for the scaffold were consistent the whole way up the building.
A trowel is a bricklayer's tool that helps them in placing the mortar in specific areas. A trowel will scoop up the mortar and is used to level the mortar bed that is on top of the bricks. A technique that was also used on this site was cutting the bricks with the trowel to get the brick to a desired length.
A roller was used on site to extract any excess mortar from the wall. In doing this, it allowed a more defined detail and a more aesthetic look for the interior and exterior walls on the project.
A brick handler is a tool that maximizes efficiency in terms of transporting bricks to a desired area. This tool can pick up multiple bricks at once, which is time effective as the bricklayers are not having to carry each brick individually. The brick pallets were prefabricated and pre-cut off-site to make the bricklaying process much easier as the bricks are already stored and at a desired length. By having brick pallets done off-site and placed on specified levels of the building, the bricklayers save time in accessing and retrieving these materials so that they can complete their work effectively.
The mortar mix is prefabricated off-site and transported to the site for use by bricklayers. This allows a more accessible approach for laying the mortar. Whilst it is prefabricated off-site, water must still be added to the mix in order for it to be malleable.